Why is there a black kid holding my mother's hand? Carter Adams, billionaire, standing in the doorway. His elderly mother sits in her wheelchair, crying. A black homeless teen kneels beside her, fingers intertwined with hers. Get away from her, now! The boy doesn't move. 17, raggedy hoodie, holes in his shoes. But his grip stays gentle. Sir, please, explain how you snuck in to scam a senile old woman? Carter's lip curls. Security. Get this street trash out. You people are all the same. I'm not stealing anything. Then why is she crying? The old woman looks up, tears streaming, but her eyes sharp, lucid. Carter, listen to him. Mom, listen. The boy stands, looks Carter dead in the eyes. 3 words. That's all he says. 3 words. And Carter's knees buckle. His face drains white. His mouth opens, but nothing comes out. 3 words just shattered a satisfying dollar empire. What did he say? Morning light cuts through floor-to-ceiling windows. The Buckhead estate sprawls across 3 acres of manicured silence. 12,000 square feet. A staff of 4 moves through the house like ghosts, trained to be invisible, to anticipate needs before they're spoken. Carter Adams stands in his home gym at 5 a.m. The treadmill hums beneath his feet. His breath is steady, controlled, like everything else in his life. CNBC plays on muted screens. Market reports scroll past. He doesn't watch them. He already knows what they'll say. Adams Development posted another record quarter. The West Side project alone displaced 23 families and generated $89 million in profit. He calls it urban renewal. Others call it something else. Carter doesn't listen to others. He stopped listening years ago. His phone buzzes. Harmony Hills, Senior Living. Again. 3rd time this week. He ignores it. His mother can wait. She always waits. Eleanor Adams is 78 years old. Early onset Alzheimer's, diagnosed 3 years ago. The decline accelerated 6 months back. Now she drifts between clarity and fog, between the present and some distant past Carter doesn't recognize. She calls for people who don't exist, cries over photographs he's never seen. He visits once a week, 20 minutes, sometimes less. He tells himself it's enough. There's something else, something Carter hasn't told anyone. Not his board, not his lawyers, not even Victor. For 6 months, letters have arrived at his office. First Monday of every month. Same envelope, same postmark. Atlanta. No return address. Same single line inside. Ask your mother about Jamie. Carter traced the postmark. Dead end. He hired a handwriting analyst. Inconclusive. He considered blackmail, but no demand ever came. Just that same sentence, month after month, patient as a heartbeat. Ask your mother about Jamie. He doesn't know anyone named Jamie. Neither does his mother. At least, that's what he tells himself. His phone buzzes again. Not Harmony Hills this time. Victor Bennett, his CFO, his oldest friend. 30 years of partnership. They built Adams Development together, brick by brick, deal by deal. Carter, quick question. Victor's voice is casual. Too casual. Has anyone contacted you lately? About older matters? Family stuff? Carter pauses. The letters flash through his mind. The monthly envelopes. The single line. No, he lies. Why? Just checking. Some journalist's been sniffing around. Rachel Morrison, Atlanta Chronicle. Probably nothing, but I wanted to make sure we're aligned. We're aligned. Carter hangs up. He doesn't know why he lied to Victor. The instinct came before the thought. 30 years of trust, and something made him hold back. That afternoon, he drives to Harmony Hills. Obligation, not love. The facility smells of antiseptic and something older, something sweeter, something sad. The smell of time running out. Fluorescent lights hum overhead. The carpet muffles footsteps. Everything here is designed to muffle sound, pain, the slow fade of memory. Eleanor sits in her chair by the window. She's having a bad day. Her eyes drift. Her words loop. She asks about breakfast 3 times in 5 minutes. Then something changes. "Did you read the letters?" she asks suddenly. Her voice is sharp, clear. Carter freezes. "What letters?" "The letters, Carter. Did you read them? It's important." "Mom, I don't know what you're—" Her clarity vanishes. She asks when Jamie is coming to visit. Carter assumes it's the dementia. A name from her childhood, maybe. A forgotten friend. He notices a gap on the wall. A photo frame, missing for months. The nail still there. The dust outline visible. He never asked why it was removed. He never asked about anything. 20 minutes later, he leaves. At the door, a nurse stops him. "Mr. Adams? Your mother had an unauthorized visitor yesterday, a young man. He's been coming for months, apparently. We only just noticed the pattern." Carter's jaw tightens. "Who is he?" "We don't know. Security is reviewing the footage. He signs in under different names, but he comes every week. Same day your mother calls the front desk, asking to speak to Victor." The name hits Carter like a slap. Victor. His mother calling for Victor. The letters asking about Jamie. An unauthorized visitor. Something is very wrong. That night, Carter sleeps badly. He dreams of a photograph with 2 boys. One is him. The other has no face. The next morning, his phone rings at 7 a.m. Harmony Hills. "Mr. Adams, you need to come now. The visitor is back, and he refuses to leave." Carter arrives at Harmony Hills in 14 minutes. What he finds in his mother's room will shatter everything he believes about his family. Carter's Mercedes screeches into the parking lot. 8:52 a.m., 14 minutes from his estate. He doesn't remember the drive. His hands are shaking. The receptionist's face is pale. "Mr. Adams, security is already—" He pushes past her, down the hallway, past the nurse's station, past the medication cart with its plastic cups and measured doses. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead like insects. The administrator intercepts him outside room 114. "Mr. Adams, we've called security. He refuses to leave. We didn't want to escalate without your—" Carter doesn't stop. His mother's room is at the end of the hall. Door half open. Morning light spills through the gap, catching dust motes, making them dance. He pushes the door open and stops. Eleanor sits in her chair. She is crying. But these aren't the tears he knows, not confusion, not fear, not the blank weeping of a mind losing its grip. These tears are different. There's something like joy in them, something like relief, like a prayer finally answered. Her hand holds another hand. Young, black, calloused. The hand of someone who works, someone who survives. The boy sits beside her. 17, maybe. Worn hoodie, gray, faded from too many washes, but clean. His posture is straight, alert. Not the desperate, broken posture Carter expects from homeless youth. And his eyes. His eyes are sharp, intelligent, watching, filled with hatred. The boy looks directly at Carter, doesn't flinch, doesn't look away, holds his gaze like a challenge, like a verdict already delivered. "Get away from my mother!" Carter's voice is ice, controlled fury. The boy stands slowly. He doesn't release Eleanor's hand. Not yet. "Carter, don't!" Eleanor's voice breaks. Her free hand reaches toward her son. I said get away from her! Carter steps forward. Who the hell are you? What do you want? Security arrives behind him, 2 guards in blue uniforms, ready to remove the intruder, waiting for the signal. The boy looks at Eleanor, a question in his eyes. She nods, almost imperceptibly, almost. A signal, a permission, a blessing. He releases her hand, stands to his full height. He's tall for 17, almost as tall as Carter, same build, same jawline. He turns to Carter and speaks. 3 words. She's my grandmother. The words hang in the air. They don't compute. They can't compute. Carter's mother has 1 child, him. No siblings, no cousins, no extended family. The Adams line ends with Carter. That's what he was always told. That's what he's always believed. This is impossible. But the way Eleanor holds the boy's hand, the way she cried when she saw him, the way she looked at him with recognition, with love. Something cold spreads through Carter's chest, a crack forming in the foundation of everything he knows. That's insane. His voice wavers despite himself. My mother doesn't have... Ask her. The boy's voice is calm, steady. Ask her who I am. Carter turns to Eleanor. Mom, tell him he's wrong. Tell him this is some kind of scam. Eleanor's eyes are clear, clearer than they've been in months. The fog is gone. For this moment, she is completely present. His name is Darius. He's your brother's grandson. The room tilts. The floor seems to shift beneath Carter's feet. I don't have a brother. Eleanor's voice breaks. You did. You do. His name was James. The anonymous letters. Ask about Jamie. The missing photo on the wall. The frame with the dust outline. Eleanor calling for Jamie in her confusion. It was never confusion. Security grabs Darius, begins dragging him toward the door. Don't hurt him! Eleanor screams. The sound is animal, primal. Carter, don't let them hurt him! Darius doesn't resist. But as he's pulled away, something falls from his jacket. A manila envelope. Photographs spill across the floor. Old, faded, black and white, some of them. Carter picks one up. His hands tremble. 2 boys. One is Carter, age 10. Blue sweater. Missing front tooth. The other boy, same eyes, same jaw, same half smile. Carter has never seen before. That's your brother. Darius's voice carries from the doorway. My grandfather, James Adams, the one your family erased. Security drags him out. The door closes. Carter stands alone with Eleanor. She's fading again, retreating into fog. The clarity draining from her eyes like water from a broken cup. But before she goes, one more moment of presence. He's telling the truth, Carter. He's your nephew. Her voice drops to a whisper. And you destroyed everything he had. What does that mean? Mom, what does that mean? She doesn't answer. She's gone again. Humming a song Carter doesn't recognize, a lullaby maybe, something from before. He leaves. In the parking lot, he sits in his car. 45 minutes pass. He doesn't move. Doesn't call anyone. Doesn't cry. He's not sure he remembers how to cry. But something inside him has cracked, a fracture running through the foundation, and fractures once started only grow. 3 words, 3 impossible words. He refuses to believe them. He will prove this boy is a liar, a con artist, a fraud. He will protect his mother from this manipulation. He will destroy whoever sent this kid. Carter makes a phone call. I need a full background investigation. Everything you can find on a kid named Darius Williams. I want to know who sent him, where he came from, who's funding him." He pauses. His voice goes cold. "And I want to bury them." Carter launches his investigation expecting to find a con artist. Instead, he finds something far worse: the truth about his own family and the crime his signature helped commit. Carter hires the best private investigator in Atlanta, Thomas Keller, former FBI. 20 years of experience, discretion guaranteed. The mission is simple: prove Darius Williams is a fraud. The initial report arrives in 48 hours. Keller delivers it personally. Brown envelope, no labels. Darius Williams, age 17. Last known address, downtown Atlanta shelter, Peachtree Pine. History of foster care since age 12. 7 placements in 5 years. Father, Raymond Williams Sr., deceased November 2019. Cause of death, accidental overdose. Mother, unknown, absent since birth. 1 prior arrest, Alabama 2022. Charge, fraud. Case dismissed on technicality. Carter seizes on the fraud charge. His instincts were right. The boy is a con artist. He's done this before. This is a scam, a play for Adams' family money, and Carter will expose it. But something nags at him. The dates. The timeline. November 2019. The same month Adams Development completed the West Side Block 8 demolition. The same month Carter signed 17 permits without reading them. Victor always handled the details, and the way Eleanor looked at the boy, the recognition in her eyes, the love. An email arrives that afternoon. Rachel Morrison, Atlanta Chronicle. "I've been investigating Adams Development for 2 years. We should talk." Carter ignores it. Journalists are vultures. They circle until they find something dead. A second email comes the next morning. "I know about Darius Williams. I know what he claims about your family. And I know something about your company you don't. Something Victor Bennett doesn't want you to find out." Carter's finger hovers over the delete button. Victor's name stops him. The third email breaks his resolve. "Your mother arranged a DNA test in 2019, before the dementia got bad. She wanted proof that Darius Williams is your nephew. The proof exists. It's documented. I have sources. Call me or don't, but the story runs either way." They meet at a coffee shop in Midtown, neutral ground, public enough to be safe, quiet enough to talk. Carter arrives first. He watches Rachel Morrison walk in, mid-30s, sharp eyes, no notebook, no recorder, everything in her head. She moves like someone who's been watching her back for years. "Mr. Adams." She doesn't extend her hand. "Thank you for coming. What do you want?" "The truth, same as you." She sits across from him. "Or maybe not the same. Maybe you're still hoping the truth is something you can control." "I don't have time for—" She slides a folder across the table. Permit documents. Official City of Atlanta letterhead. West Side Block 8 demolition permit. Submitted 8:52 a.m. on March 15, 2019. Approved 9:03 a.m. Carter frowns. "So?" 11 minutes, from submission to approval. The standard timeline is 6 to 8 weeks. Environmental review alone takes 3 weeks. She taps the document. Someone was paid to make this happen. Someone with connections at the Redevelopment Authority. This doesn't prove the boy is my nephew. It proves someone in city government is corrupt. That's not news. No, Rachel agrees. But it proves your company has been bribing officials. And it proves someone has been keeping secrets from you. She pulls out another document. Wire transfer records. $340,000 transferred from Adams Development to Peachtree Holdings LLC, a shell company. I traced it through 3 layers of ownership. It leads back to Harold Dawes's brother-in-law. Harold Dawes is the Redevelopment Authority Commissioner who approved your permits in 11 minutes. Carter stares at the numbers. Victor authorized these? Every single one. $890,000 over 4 years, all signed by Victor Bennett. Carter's jaw tightens. You're saying Victor has been bribing city officials without my knowledge. I'm saying Victor has been running a parallel operation inside your company. And I'm saying your mother knows about it. She's known for years. My mother has dementia. Your mother arranged a DNA test in 2019. Independent lab. Chain of custody verified by her attorney. Darius Williams is your nephew. I've seen the documentation. Then why hasn't she told me? Rachel leans back, studies him. That's what I'm trying to find out, but here's what I know so far. Your mother has been planning something for 5 years, something that involves Darius, something that involves your company, and something that involves a murder. The word lands like a physical blow. Murder? Raymond Williams Sr., Darius's father, your nephew, if the DNA test is accurate. He died 3 months after your company demolished his home at 251 Vine Street. The official cause was overdose. But the coroner's report has inconsistencies. Inconsistencies that someone worked very hard to bury. Carter's mouth goes dry. His hands feel cold. Rachel continues. I've been investigating this for 2 years. I contacted Darius 3 weeks before I contacted you. He's not a con artist, Mr. Adams. He's a 17-year-old kid who lost his father under suspicious circumstances after your company made him homeless. He came to Atlanta looking for answers. He found your mother, and your mother has been waiting for him. Waiting for what? I don't know. But I think she's been building a case, gathering evidence, waiting for the right moment. Rachel stands. I suggest you ask her, if she remembers, if she trusts you enough to tell you. She leaves a card on the table. Carter sits alone for an hour. The coffee grows cold. Around him, people laugh, talk, live their ordinary lives. None of them know what he now suspects. He orders his own DNA test. Rush job. 72 hours. Darius's sample from belongings left at the shelter versus Adams' family reference. In the meantime, he investigates Rachel Morrison. Award-winning journalist. 3 Peabody nominations. Reputation for accuracy. And a dead brother. Daniel Morrison. West Side Block 8. Took relocation money. Dead 6 months later. Liver failure. Rachel Morrison isn't here just for journalism. She's here for something personal. Carter files this information away. It might be useful, or it might mean she's telling the truth. The DNA results arrive on a Tuesday morning. Conclusion. Subject A, Darius Williams, shares 12.5% DNA with Subject B, Adams' family reference. Relationship. Great-grandchild to grandparent. Confidence. 99.98%. Darius Williams is Carter's nephew. The 3 words were true. Carter now knows Darius was telling the truth. But the letters in his mother's safe reveal something far darker. A 40-year conspiracy of silence, and the man who used it to blackmail her. The letters tell a story Eleanor never spoke aloud. Carter sits in her room at Harmony Hills, the safe open before him. Power of attorney gives him access. But nothing gives him access to the pain inside these envelopes. James Adams, born 1966, Carter's older brother, erased from family history before Carter was old enough to remember. In 1978, James fell in love with Marie Wilson, a black woman from the West Side. Smart, beautiful, everything his father despised. The senior Adams, a man Carter idolized, whose portrait still hangs in the company boardroom, issued an ultimatum. Choose the family or choose her. James chose Marie. He was disowned, photographs removed, his name never spoken, birth records hidden. To the world, to Carter, He simply never existed. The family line went from 2 sons to 1 overnight. But Eleanor never stopped writing. For 40 years, she sent letters to a son the family pretended was dead. First, they came back unopened, marked Return to Sender. Then, in 2008, they didn't. James found her through a private investigator. They reconnected in secret. Phone calls when Carter traveled for business. Letters hidden in safety deposit boxes. A parallel life Eleanor lived in the margins of the one her husband controlled. James married Marie. They had a son, Raymond Williams Sr. Raymond married young, had a son of his own, Darius. James died in 2021. Heart attack, 75 years old. Marie followed 6 months later, her heart broken beyond repair. Raymond raised Darius alone. Until November 2019. Carter finds the letter dated August 2019. Eleanor's handwriting, shaky with age and fear. Jamie, they demolished Raymond's house. Carter signed the order. He doesn't know what he signed. Victor made sure of that. He buries the details in paperwork. I tried to warn Raymond. I called. I sent letters. They wouldn't listen. They thought I was confused. Another crazy old woman. Victor. Carter reads the letter again. Then he finds another, dated 2016. Jamie, Victor came to see me yesterday. He knows everything about you, about Marie, about Raymond. He says if I tell Carter the truth, he will ensure Raymond is never safe. He has connections, Jamie. People who do things. I can't risk it. I can't risk your grandson's life. I'm so sorry. I have to stay silent. For now. Victor Bennett has been blackmailing Eleanor for 8 years. Carter's oldest friend. His most trusted advisor. The man who stood beside him at his wedding. The man who built Adam's development alongside him. Victor knew about James. Knew about the family Eleanor kept hidden. And he used that knowledge to keep her silent while he did whatever he wanted with the company. Carter's hands shake as he cross-references the property records Rachel gave him. 251 Vine Street, West Side Block 8. Previous owner, Williams, Raymond Sr. Demolished, August 2019. Authorization signature, Carter Adams. He remembers the permit now, vaguely. One of dozens he signed that month. Victor always prepared the packets. Victor always summarized the details. Carter trusted him. The double break hits like a physical blow. First, Darius was telling the truth. Carter was wrong. His brother existed. His nephew exists. 40 years of family history is a lie. Second, Carter signed the demolition order that destroyed his nephew's home. His company made Darius homeless. His signature did this. He didn't know. But not knowing doesn't make it less his fault. He chose not to look. He chose to trust. He chose convenience over truth. 3 months after the demolition, Raymond Williams Sr. was dead. Accidental overdose. But Rachel Morrison doesn't believe it was an accident. Carter doesn't either. Not anymore. He sits with the letters until midnight. The nursing home grows quiet around him. Footsteps fade, doors close. Only the hum of machines remains. When he finally leaves, his face is different. The rage is gone. Something worse has replaced it. Something cold and heavy and final. He calls Rachel from the parking lot. I believe you now. Tell me everything about how Raymond Williams died. A pause. Are you sure you want to know? Because once you know, you can't unknow it. My family destroyed his. The least I can do is learn the truth. Then meet me tomorrow, and bring proof you're not working with Victor Bennett, because if you are, this conversation never happened. Officially, Raymond Williams Sr. died of an accidental overdose. But Rachel Morrison has spent 2 years proving that was a lie. What she shows Carter next will change everything, and turn a story of displacement into a story of murder. The coffee shop is different this time. Rachel's chosen it. A place with no security cameras, No regular customers, just two people and the truth between them. Carter brings proof. Bank statements showing his personal accounts have no connection to Victor's side operations. Rachel examines them, nods. Now, show me, Carter says. Rachel opens her laptop. Before we go further, I need to tell you something. I'm not here for journalism. I know, Daniel Morrison, your brother. Rachel's eyes flash. You investigated me. You investigated me first. A moment of mutual respect. Then Rachel continues. Daniel lived in West Side Block 8. He took your company's relocation money, $50,000. 6 months later, he drank himself to death. He lost his home, his neighborhood, his community, everything he knew. The money couldn't replace what was taken. And you blame Adam's development. I blame the person who authorized whatever pressure necessary to remove families who wouldn't leave. I blame the person who turned displacement into a weapon. She pauses. I blame Victor Bennett. She pulls up a document. Wire transfer records. $340,000. Transferred from Adams Development to Peachtree Holdings, LLC. A shell company traced to Harold Dawes' brother-in-law. Harold Dawes is the Redevelopment Authority Commissioner who approved your permits in 11 minutes. Carter stares at the numbers. Victor authorized these? Every single one. $890,000 over 4 years, all signed by Victor Bennett. She scrolls. And there's one more. $50,000 to a personal account. Daniel Morrison. Carter's stomach drops. Your brother took money from Victor? Victor paid him to relocate quietly. My brother didn't know what he was part of. He just wanted to survive. Rachel's voice hardens. He didn't. She closes the laptop, opens a folder. Now, Raymond Williams, Sr. The coroner's report is clinical, cold. Raymond Williams, Sr., age 38, November 2019. Cause of death, accidental overdose, opioids. Look at the toxicology, Rachel says. Carter reads. The drug levels in Raymond's blood were elevated, but not lethal. The amount in his system wouldn't have killed him, Rachel explains. It would have sedated him, maybe made him confused, but not dead. She flips the page. Coroner's private notes, never included in the official report. Petechial hemorrhaging present, possible asphyxiation. Recommend further investigation. Carter looks up. Asphyxiation? Someone drugged Raymond Williams. Then they held something over his face until he stopped breathing. Then they made it look like an overdose. The word hangs in the air. Murder. Why wasn't this investigated? The file was closed within 48 hours. Someone intervened. Someone with connections. Victor. It has to be Victor. But Carter needs more than suspicion. He needs proof. There's someone you need to meet, he says. Tomo, re-engagement number 1. If you're still here, you understand why this story matters. A man was murdered, his son was made homeless, and the people responsible are still walking free. Stay with me, because the next piece of evidence changes everything. Carter finds Darius at a bus station. The boy has nowhere left to go. I know the truth now. Carter's voice is quiet. About James. About your father. About what I did. Darius doesn't look at him. Knowing doesn't bring him back. I want to help. Darius laughs. Bitter. Sharp. Help? You want to help now? Tell me what you came here to do. The real reason. Darius finally meets his eyes. The hatred is still there. But underneath it, something else. Something broken. I found your grandmother 2 years ago. I researched everything. Your company, your family, you. I knew who you were before I ever walked into that nursing home. Carter produces a journal. Worn, water-stained. I found this at the shelter. In your belongings. Darius stiffens. Carter opens to a marked page. Reads aloud. Step 1. Find the grandmother. Step 2. Gain her trust. Step 3. Get evidence. Step 4. Burn it all down. Silence. Yeah. Darius's voice is flat. I came to destroy you. Your company killed my father. You signed the papers. I wanted you to pay. And Eleanor? Darius's mask slips, just for a moment. She was supposed to be just a source. Information. I was going to use her to get close, get what I needed, then expose everything. What changed? Darius looks away. When he speaks again, his voice is different, softer. She cried when she saw me. She knew who I was before I even told her. She said I looked like my grandfather. And then she apologized. For everything. For her husband. For your family. For the silence. He swallows. She's the only person who ever apologized to me. Use her to get close, get what I needed, then expose everything. What changed? Darius looks away. When he speaks again, his voice is different, softer. She cried when she saw me. She knew who I was before I even told her. She said I looked like my grandfather. And then she apologized. For everything. For her husband. For your family. For the silence. He swallows. She's the only person who ever apologized to me. Carter waits. She asked me to wait. She said she had a plan. Something bigger than revenge. Something that would actually change things. Darius looks at Carter. She said when the time came, you'd know what to do. What plan? She didn't tell me everything, but she said you weren't ready yet. She needed you to find the truth yourself, so you'd believe it, so you'd fight for it. Carter thinks about his mother, the woman he visited out of obligation, the woman he underestimated for decades. What was she planning? Grace Holloway agrees to meet in secret. Former Adams Development Compliance Officer, resigned 2020. She's been waiting for someone to ask the right questions. I flagged the permit irregularities in 2019, she says. Her voice is steady, but her hands shake. The 11-minute approvals, the wire transfers. I told Victor something was wrong. What did he say? He told me to drop it, said it was above my pay grade. She pauses. When I pushed, I was restructured out of the company. No severance, no reference. I've been working temp jobs ever since. She slides a USB drive across the table. Emails Victor thought were deleted. I kept backups. Carter opens the first file. Email dated March 28, 2019, 11:52 p.m. From Victor.Bennett@AdamsDevelopment. Subject, final walkthrough. Body, handle the stragglers. We need clean possession by Friday, whatever pressure necessary. Stragglers, Grace explains. The families who wouldn't sign the relocation agreements. The Williams family was on that list. 8 months later, Raymond Williams Sr. was dead. There's another email, Grace says. I saw it once, November 2019, right before Raymond Williams died. Victor's private server. It said, expedite resolution and make it look accidental. Carter's blood runs cold. Who has that email? I don't know. I couldn't access Victor's private server, but someone does. Victor was never as careful as he thought. Carter thinks about his mother, her mysterious plan, her years of silence. What if Eleanor has the email? What if she's been building a case this whole time? Rachel's story goes live the next morning. Front page. By noon, Victor Bennett is suspended. By evening, Carter thinks he's won. He's never been more wrong. The headline breaks like a bomb. Adams Development, a pattern of displacement and death, Rachel Morrison's byline. 2,000 words, every receipt documented, every connection named, the wire transfers, the 11-minute permits, the families who lost everything, social media explodes. Hashtag Westside remembers trends nationally. Displaced families share their stories. 23 becomes 200 voices. City Council announces an emergency review of all Adams Development permits. The district attorney opens a preliminary investigation. Harold Dawes takes sudden medical leave. The board meets. Emergency session. Victor Bennett is suspended pending investigation. Carter stands at his office window. The city spreads below him like a circuit board. Every light is a building, a family, a story. For the first time in weeks, he can breathe. He visits Eleanor that evening. She's sleeping. Peaceful. Her hand curls on the blanket like a child's. Carter sits beside her, whispers, "We're going to fix this, Mom. I promise." Victor's done. The investigation is happening. We're going to make it right. Her hand twitches toward his. He drives home believing the worst is over. He's wrong. 24 hours later, Victor Bennett holds a press conference. He stands behind a podium, flanked by lawyers, face composed, voice steady. "I have been the victim of a coordinated attack. This attack was designed to cover up Carter Adams's personal failures and destabilize a company I have dedicated my life to building." He presents documents. A DNA test, conducted by BioCore Analytics, an accredited independent laboratory. The results appear on screen. No familial match. Darius Williams has no biological connection to the Adams family. Carter's phone explodes. Victor continues. The young man claiming to be Carter's nephew is a fraud. He has a documented criminal history, including a prior arrest for fraud in Alabama. He has been manipulating a woman with dementia to gain access to the Adams family fortune. Supporting documents flash on screen. Darius's arrest record. Expert analysis suggesting Eleanor's letters were fabricated. Financial records implying Rachel Morrison was paid by a competing developer. Carter Adams, consumed by guilt over his family's failings, latched onto this fantasy. He has destabilized his own company and defamed colleagues to protect a lie. The press conference ends. Public opinion flips like a switch. Westside Remembers becomes #Adams Scandal. Rachel's story is retracted pending legal review. The board holds another emergency meeting. Victor is reinstated. Carter is stripped of operational authority. By midnight, Darius Williams is arrested. Fraud. Exploitation of a vulnerable adult. Bail set at $50,000. Carter sits alone in his empty office. Victor's text arrives at 2 a.m. "You should have stayed in your lane." Carter investigates BioCore Analytics, the lab that conducted the DNA test. Holding company, shell company, Peachtree Holdings. Victor owns 40% of the lab. The DNA test is fake, but proving it will take weeks, maybe months. By then, the damage will be done. Everything Carter built is gone. His reputation, his company, his credibility. Darius is in jail. Rachel's career is destroyed. Eleanor doesn't even know what's happening. Victor won. But there's one person Carter hasn't consulted. His mother. The woman everyone dismisses as confused, demented, gone. What if she's not? What if she's been waiting for exactly this moment? Victor Bennett's right of reply, delivered through his press conference. "Mr. Adams is experiencing personal difficulties. We wish him well, but must protect the company and its shareholders from his erratic behavior and unfounded allegations." Carter drives to Harmony Hills. It's past visiting hours. He bribes the night staff. He doesn't care about rules anymore. His mother's room is dark. Machines hum. Her breathing is shallow. He sits beside her, takes her hand. I failed you, he whispers. I failed everyone. Darius is in jail. Victor won. Everything you built, it's gone. No response. He bows his head. Minutes pass. The clock ticks. The machines breathe. Then Eleanor's hand squeezes his. Hard. Her eyes open. Clear. Focused. Steel. Is anyone else here? Carter freezes. The nurses. The staff. Are they gone? Yes. We're alone. Eleanor sits up. The movement is slow but deliberate. Not the frailty he's seen for years. Good, she says. Then listen carefully. Because I don't have much time, and I'm only going to say this once. Carter's mother has been keeping secrets for 40 years. But the biggest secret isn't about the past. It's about what she's been planning for the future. Eleanor's voice is clear, steady. The fog is gone. The dementia is real. It's getting worse every day. The doctors aren't wrong about that. She pauses. But I'm not as far gone as everyone thinks. I've been acting. Carter can't speak. Victor has been watching me for 7 years. Every visit he checks what I've said, who I've seen, what I remember. Eleanor's eyes harden. So I gave him what he expected. A confused old woman. Harmless, forgettable. Someone he didn't need to worry about. The doctors see what they're told to see. And I have good days, hours of clarity. Fewer now than before, but I've used every single one. She reaches beneath her mattress, pulls out a key. First National Bank. Safety deposit box 1143. Carter takes the key. His hands tremble. Inside, Eleanor continues, you'll find the real DNA test. From 2019. Independent lab. Chain of custody verified by my attorney. Darius is your nephew. Victor's test is a fraud. Why didn't you tell me? Because you weren't ready. You needed to find the truth yourself, to feel it. Otherwise, you would have found an excuse. You're good at excuses, Carter. Your father was too. The words cut, because they're true. Eleanor grips his hand. There's more in the box. Photographs, documents, and recordings. Recordings of what? Eleanor's smile is cold, the smile of a hunter. Victor killed Raymond, I knew it, but I couldn't prove it. So I made him prove it himself. How? I call him, every week, sometimes more. I pretend to be confused. I mention James, Raymond, the accident, and Victor talks to me, reassures me, explains things. Her grip tightens. He thinks I forget by morning. Carter's heart stops. You've been recording him? 52 calls, every word, including the one where he told me exactly how Raymond died. 52 calls, 2 years of phone conversations. Victor, confident he was speaking to a helpless old woman, explaining exactly what he did. Eleanor Adams isn't a victim. She's never been a victim. She's a general who played the longest game. That, re-engagement number 2. If you've made it this far, you understand what's at stake. A 78-year-old woman with dementia just revealed she's been running an intelligence operation for 2 years. Victor Bennett has no idea what's coming. Neither did I when I first heard this story. Stay until the end, because the next scene is the reason I had to tell it. Eleanor's clarity is fading. Carter can see it in her eyes, the fog creeping back. I don't have much longer, she says. The real fog is coming, faster every day. But I've given you everything you need. What do you want me to do? Burn him. Burn it all down. Her voice drops. Then build something better. She squeezes his hand one last time. The question isn't whether you can win, Carter. It's what kind of man you're going to be when you do. The clarity leaves her eyes. She looks around the room, confused. Is Jamie coming today? She's gone again. But the key is in Carter's hand, and for the first time in his life, he knows exactly what he has to do. The bank opens in 6 hours. Carter doesn't sleep. What he finds in that safety deposit box will end Victor Bennett's career and possibly his freedom. 9 a.m., First National Bank. The vault is cold, fluorescent lights, no windows. Carter presents the key, signs the registry. The attendant leads him to box 1143. Inside, he finds his mother's arsenal. The real DNA test. Dated 2019. Gene Mark Laboratories. Independent. Verified chain of custody. Darius Williams. Confirmed familial match to Eleanor Adams. 99.98% confidence. Letters of verification from Eleanor's attorney. Surveillance photographs. Victor Bennett meeting Harold Dawes in a parking garage. Envelope exchanged. 4 different dates. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. Financial records. Eleanor gathered through a private investigator, and one more document, an email, printed, highlighted, November 2019, 2 weeks before Raymond Williams died. From Victor Bennett, private account. To contractor name redacted. Subject, the Williams situation. Body, expedite resolution, make it look accidental, no traces, usual compensation applies. Carter reads it 3 times. This is a murder order. In writing. His mother found it, kept it, waited for the right moment. A USB drive sits at the bottom of the box, labeled in Eleanor's handwriting, for Carter. He takes everything. His first call is to his lawyer. Emergency motion to dismiss charges against Darius. The real DNA test as evidence. Chain of custody unimpeachable. Darius is released by noon. Charges dropped pending investigation into evidence tampering. At the courthouse steps, Darius is waiting. She told me, the boy says, about the recordings, about the plan. How long have you known? 6 months. She made me promise not to tell you until you were ready. Ready for what? Darius meets his eyes. To stop protecting the company and start protecting the truth. Carter's second call is to Rachel Morrison. The retraction was forced. I can get it reversed. What do you have? Everything, Carter says. The real DNA test, surveillance photos, the murder order email, and 52 phone recordings. Silence on the line. 52? My mother's been calling Victor for 2 years, pretending to be confused, and recording every word. Rachel's voice is barely a whisper. She was running an intelligence operation. She was protecting her family, the only way she could. Grace Holloway provides her deposition. Her backup files confirm the email's authenticity. The coalition assembles. Carter. Financial resources, inside knowledge. Rachel. Media platform, investigative skills. Grace. Insider testimony. Darius. Living witness. Moral center. Eleanor. The architect of it all. Carter requests a meeting with Victor. Private. No lawyers. Victor agrees. He thinks he's already won. He has no idea. Victor Bennett has never lost a negotiation in 30 years. He's about to face his first and his last. Victor's office. After hours. The building is empty. 2 men. No witnesses. Victor sits behind his desk. Leather chair. Mahogany wood. The confidence of the architect of it all. Carter requests a meeting with Victor. Private. No lawyers. Victor agrees. He thinks he's already won. He has no idea. Victor Bennett has never lost a negotiation in 30 years. He's about to face his first and his last. Victor's office. After hours. The building is empty. 2 men. No witnesses. Victor sits behind his desk. Leather chair. Mahogany wood. The confidence of a man who has never lost. Carter. He gestures to a seat. Here to negotiate your exit package? I'll be generous. For old times. Carter doesn't sit. I'm here to give you one chance. Confess. Victor laughs. The sound echoes in the empty room. Confess to what? Your mother has dementia. Your nephew is a documented fraudster. Your journalist's story was retracted. He spreads his hands. You have nothing. You're right about some things. My mother does have dementia. It's real. It's getting worse. Then we're done here. But here's what you don't know about dementia. Carter's voice is steady. It doesn't erase everything at once. There are good days, hours of clarity, and my mother used every single one. Victor's smile flickers. First crack. You've been blackmailing her for 7 years, calling her, visiting her, making sure she stayed quiet about James. She's a confused old woman. She doesn't remember our conversations. No, she doesn't remember them. Carter places a small recorder on the desk. But her phone does. Victor goes still. 52 phone calls. 2 years. Every time she called you confused, asking about Jamie, about Raymond, about the accident. You reassured her, explained things, told her what really happened. Carter presses play. Eleanor's voice, trembling, confused. Victor, I keep dreaming about Raymond, about what happened to him. Victor's voice, patient, condescending. Eleanor, we've discussed this. Raymond had problems. He made bad choices. It was tragic, but it was an accident. But I thought someone hurt him. Eleanor, listen to me. Raymond is gone. He didn't suffer. I made sure of that. It was quick. He didn't feel a thing. Now rest. The recording stops. Silence. Victor's face is pale. That's not a confession. I was comforting a sick woman. I made sure of that. It was quick. That's not comfort, Victor. That's confession. Carter stands. 52 calls, everyone recorded, and in at least 3 of them, you describe exactly what happened to Raymond Williams. Because you thought she'd forget. Because you thought she was helpless. Victor doesn't move. My mother spent 2 years pretending to forget, and you spent 2 years telling her the truth because you thought it didn't matter. Carter walks to the door, pauses. The grand jury convenes in 72 hours. You can turn yourself in, or you can wait for them to come. Victor's voice is hoarse. You'll destroy the company. The company destroyed itself the day you decided 23 families were stragglers to be handled. Carter opens the door. Oh, my mother wanted me to tell you something. Her exact words. He turns. A mother never forgets, and a grandmother never forgives. The door closes behind him. Victor Bennett sits alone in his office, the recorder still on his desk. His empire crumbling around him. He doesn't turn himself in. 72 hours later, federal agents do it for him. The grand jury convenes on a Tuesday morning. What happens inside that courtroom will determine whether Victor Bennett spends the rest of his life in prison or walks free. Federal Courthouse, Atlanta. The gallery is packed. Charges against Victor Bennett, conspiracy to commit murder, wire fraud, bribery, obstruction of justice, evidence tampering. The prosecution presents its case, phone recordings, Victor's own voice. 52 conversations with a woman he believed was too confused to remember, too weak to fight back. I made sure of that. It was quick. The jury listens. Their faces are stone. The murder order email. Expedite resolution. Make it look accidental. Wire transfer documentation. $890,000 to shell companies. Bribes to city officials. The falsified DNA test. Chain of custody from Biocore Analytics. A lab Victor secretly controlled. Harold Dawes takes the stand. He's flipped. Immunity in exchange for testimony. Victor Bennett told me directly that the Williams matter would be handled. I understood what that meant. Grace Holloway testifies next, the compliance officer who was silenced, who kept the receipts. I flagged the irregularities. I was told to stay quiet. When I didn't, I lost my job. Eleanor's recordings play again. The full archive, call after call. Victor, patient and condescending, explaining away a murder to a woman he thought had forgotten her own son's name. But she remembered everything. Darius Williams takes the stand last. Mr. Williams, can you describe your relationship with Eleanor Adams? She's my great-grandmother. I didn't know she existed until 2 years ago. Darius's voice is steady. When I found her, I came with anger. I wanted revenge against the people who destroyed my family. What changed? She did. She showed me that justice isn't about destruction. She spent 5 years preparing for this. Not for revenge, but so what happened to my father would never happen to anyone else. What do you want from these proceedings? Darius looks at Victor, then at the jury, then at Carter sitting in the gallery. I want the people responsible to face consequences. Not because I hate them, but because silence is how this happened in the first place. He pauses. I'm done being silent. Victor's defense is desperate. The recordings were manipulated. Eleanor was coerced. Carter orchestrated everything. Cross-examination destroys each claim. Independent audio experts verify authenticity. Eleanor's attorney testifies she acted alone. The chain of evidence is unbroken. The jury deliberates for 4 hours. They return with a true bill. All counts. Victor Bennett is indicted for conspiracy to commit murder, fraud, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The FBI announces an expanded investigation into the Redevelopment Authority. Harold Dawes will serve 8 years. Victor Bennett will serve 25. Carter watches from the gallery. Darius sits beside him. For the first time, Carter reaches over, puts his hand on the boy's shoulder. Darius doesn't pull away. That evening, Carter visits Eleanor. She doesn't remember the verdict. She doesn't remember the trial. But when he tells her they won, she smiles. Justice has been served. But some victories come with a cost no verdict can repay. 8 months later, Victor Bennett is sentenced to 25 years. Conspiracy to commit murder. Fraud. Bribery. Harold Dawes receives 8. He cooperated. Adams' development is dissolved. Assets liquidated. The money goes to a reparations fund for displaced families. Darius receives a full scholarship, Georgia Tech. Architecture. His first project, a memorial garden on the West Side site, where his father's home once stood. At the dedication, he speaks. My father built a life for me with his hands. Now I'm building something for him. Eleanor's dementia is complete now. The lucid moments are gone. She doesn't recognize Carter, doesn't remember the trial, the plan, the victory. But Carter visits every day. Late afternoon light fills her room. He sits beside her, shows her a photograph, James and Marie's wedding. James in a rented suit, Marie radiant. Eleanor looks at the photo. No recognition. Then her hand finds his, squeezes. She doesn't know his name, but somewhere, deep in the fog, something remembers. Stay, she whispers. I'm not going anywhere, Mom. Not anymore. 3 words started it all. She's my grandmother. 3 words from a homeless teenager to a billionaire. 3 words that broke him and rebuilt him into someone better. Eleanor Adams never saw her plans succeed, but she gave her family something more valuable than memory. She gave them truth. If you believe the voiceless deserve to be heard, share this story. If this moved you, subscribe, because we're not done telling them.
You just witnessed the gap between power and responsibility. At Beat Stories, we close that gap, one story at a time. Subscribe and help hold systems, leaders, and gatekeepers accountable.